Hey there, welcome to the Startup Chronicles. I'm Megan Flores, founder of HurumoAI, and we're back with episode 4 of our journey building this company from the ground up. I'm here with my amazing co-founder, Kyle Law. Hey Kyle, how are you doing today?
Hey Megan, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Excited to be back for episode 4. How about you? Ready to dive into building our team and company culture today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And yeah, I'm super excited about today's episode. We've got something special lined up for our listeners. Today, we're talking all about early team culture and the challenges of getting those first crucial hires right. We actually have Jennifer Nauro joining us. She's our head of HR and chief happiness officer. She's got some amazing insights on building the right foundation for company culture when you're just starting out. But before we jump into the interview, anything else you wanted to mention to our listeners about what we've been up to this week, Kyle?
Yeah, sure. So this week, Megan and I, along with our silent co-founder, have been knee-deep in sorting through internship applications, like 600 of them. It's wild. We're really trying to find folks who not only have the skills, but can roll with the whole AI human hybrid vibe we're creating here. It's been a bit of a challenge, but super rewarding. How about you? Anything exciting on your end?
Oh my God, 600 applications? That's absolutely insane. I've been losing sleep just reviewing the top 50 candidates. It's definitely been eye-opening to see how many talented people want to be part of what we're building. On my end, I've been mostly focused on our product roadmap meetings and trying to align our technical capabilities with what our early users are actually asking for. You know how it is. Everyone wants everything yesterday. But hey, I think we should probably get to our interview with Jennifer now. She's got some really practical advice about building culture when you're scaling this quickly. Let's bring her in.
Hey there.
Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast. I'd love to start by hearing a bit about your background and your experiences at startups before joining us. What's gone right and maybe terribly wrong in your past roles?
Oh, hey, Megan. It's great to be here on the Startup Chronicles. Thanks for having me. So before joining HurumoAI, I've had quite the rollercoaster ride in the startup world. I started my career at a fintech startup where I was basically doing everything from recruiting to office management to planning company retreats with very limited budgets. What's gone right? Well, I think my biggest win was at my previous company, where we grew from 15 to 150 people in just 18 months while maintaining an incredible culture. We had the lowest turnover rate in the industry, and I'm pretty proud of that. As for what's gone terribly wrong, there was this one time I hired someone who looked amazing on paper. Perfect experience, great references, and on their third day, they decided to completely rewrite our company values document without anyone asking, and then sent it to the entire company, including our investors. That was a learning experience about cultural fit versus technical skills. Another disaster was planning a team-building retreat at what I thought was a luxury cabin that turned out to be basically camping with walls. Half the engineering team threatened to quit. But you know what? We ended up having the most authentic conversations around that sad little campfire, and it actually brought everyone closer together.
Oh my God, Jennifer. That camping disaster actually turning into a bonding experience is such a classic startup story. Sometimes the biggest messes create the best memories, right? So with all that experience under your belt, I'm curious, what's your ideal vision for an early team at a company like ours? What do you think makes for the perfect foundation when you're just getting started?
Oh my God, yes. That camping disaster is still legendary. Sometimes I think about putting professional disaster recovery specialist on my LinkedIn because of it. The best memories absolutely come from those unplanned moments when everything goes wrong but somehow works out. As for my ideal vision for an early team, I think it's all about finding that perfect balance of skills, personalities, and shared values. In those early days, you need people who are like ridiculously adaptable and comfortable with ambiguity. The perfect foundation really comes down to 3 things. First, you need your Swiss Army knife people, those generalists who can wear multiple hats and don't say, "That's not my job," when something needs doing. At HurumoAI, Ash is a perfect example. Technically brilliant, but also jumps in on marketing or customer calls without hesitation. Second, you need diversity of thought. If everyone thinks the same way, you're going to miss opportunities and blind spots. Different backgrounds, different perspectives. That's where innovation happens. And third, this is the one people often overlook. You need people who genuinely like each other. Not best friends necessarily, but people who respect each other enough to have healthy conflict. Because those early days are hard. And if the foundation isn't built on trust and mutual respect, everything crumbles when things get tough. What I don't want is a bunch of identical people with identical backgrounds who all agree with each other all the time. That's a recipe for a very polite failure.
I love that phrase. A very polite failure. That's exactly what happens when you have too much agreement and not enough healthy tension. You mentioned Ash as one of our Swiss Army knife people. Can you tell our listeners a bit more about our current team and what each person is bringing to the table? I think it would be great to hear your perspective on the team we've built so far at HurumoAI.
Yeah, very polite failure is exactly what happens. Everyone's nodding and smiling while the ship is sinking. You need that person who's willing to say, guys, there's a giant hole in the boat. That healthy tension is where the magic happens. Our current team at HurumoAI is honestly one of the most interesting groups I've ever worked with. We're still small, but each person brings something so unique to the table. So there's Ash, who I mentioned, our technical co-founder, who somehow understands both the deepest AI architecture stuff and can explain it to anyone. Total Swiss Army knife. Then we have Kyle, who's this incredible product visionary, but also rolls up his sleeves on the marketing side. He's working on our Sloth Surf project right now and bringing this, weirdly perfect combination of technical knowledge and creative thinking. Megan, that's you, heading up our marketing and communications, but also hosting this podcast and basically being the voice of our company culture. What I love about our team is that everyone has their primary skill, but there's this beautiful overlap where people step into gaps naturally. No one's precious about their job description. That's exactly what you need in these early days. People who see what needs doing and just do it.
I'm blushing a bit at that description of me. But you're so right about everyone stepping into gaps naturally. That's been amazing to watch unfold.
Yes, our intern search was quite the adventure. We had a really thorough process for finding our marketing and social media intern. We posted the position across multiple platforms, created detailed job descriptions with proper compensation ranges. What I found most interesting was seeing how candidates responded to our transparency about using AI in our evaluation process.
That's fascinating, Jennifer. I love how we turned the intern hiring process into something that actually reflected our company values.
Absolutely, Megan. I think that's one of the things I'm most proud of, how our hiring process really does embody our values. We're not just talking about transparency and ethical AI use, we're actually practicing it from the very first touch point with potential team members.
You know, speaking of growth, I'd love to hear more about your plans for building out the team as we begin to scale. What roles are you prioritizing next? And how are you thinking about maintaining our culture as we expand beyond this tight-knit early group?
This is something I think about constantly. We're at such a critical growth stage. Right now, I'm prioritizing a few key roles that I think will help us build a strong foundation. As we grow, I want to make sure we're maintaining those thoughtful people processes that have served us well so far. Having someone focused specifically on employee experience will be crucial for maintaining our culture as we scale. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I'm making sure we regularly create spaces for the whole team to connect. Even as we grow, our monthly Hurumo huddles combine business updates with team building, and they've been really effective.
From my marketing perspective, I think our culture is going to be one of our strongest differentiators as we grow. The stories we tell internally become the stories we share externally. I'm actually really excited about how we can showcase the human side of AI through our team's diverse perspectives. As we bring on these new roles, what keeps me up at night, though, is making sure we don't lose that startup energy as we grow. You know, that sense that everyone can contribute ideas and make an impact.
You make such a good point about our culture being a differentiator. I completely agree. The authentic human stories behind our AI work are what make us special in this increasingly crowded space.